Can you believe that we are in October already? 2 months left in this year. Time feels like it's flying by. I grow older, my kids grow taller, and my apiary grows bigger. I am loving every single day. Beekeeping is exactly what I should be doing. Guys, if this is the first time that you are seeing my video, welcome. My name is Marnie, and I am a beekeeper in the beautiful country, South Africa, home of the African honeybee. I started my beekeeping journey with just one bee colony that my dad bought me, and today I am boasting with over 50 hives made from this one hive, catching a couple of swarms and perfecting the art of queen grafting. 50 hives is not my final goal. I want to grow my apiary all the way up to 50,000 hives. That is my goal, or my long-term goal for the next 10 years. And I am so excited for you to be a part of that journey. Now, let's jump into the video. Life will give us what we deserve, not what we want. We are bound to the energy around us. If we radiate positive energy, helpful energy, and being a blessing to others, it always comes back to us in the weirdest ways. And did it come back to me in the most weirdest of ways? About a month ago, I ran a free beekeeping course for people wanting to learn more about beekeeping and what it takes to keep a hive at home. My focus was on creating value in the market. Before you decide to dive in and spend a huge amount of money on beekeeping tools and training, I'm sure many of you would agree with me at this point that beekeeping is a fairly expensive hobby. And if you're not sure that this is the hobby for you, then you're going to throw a lot of money into the water. And that is why I created the short introductory course, just for people to dabble their feet in it and see if it is something that they are willing to do. Beekeeping is a lot like owning a dog or a cat. Now, don't get me wrong, beekeeping is a bit different because we have a hive with over 30,000 bees that want to sting us, but it's a lot the same as having a cat or a dog. You get so attached to your hive. You get to know your hive. You get to know your bees, and they become like a pet. You know, it's an animal that you love taking care of. You know, yesterday I was doing an extraction and I was helping someone, and he got stung real badly. And you know, this morning he sends me a message and says, "You know what, my foot hurts, but I still love those ladies. They are such an amazing colony." And it just goes to show that over time your bees are like pets. And before you make that long-term commitment, that's why I created the training, because I want you to double your feet in it. So if you are looking for a beekeeping course, I still have it on my website until the end of this month for free. So the beginning of November, I will be charging for the course, but you can definitely still grab it before the end of October for absolutely free. Simply jump onto my website, check out the link in the description. I will also put the link there for you to get access to the course, and then, you know, just go through it and see if it's something that you would like to do. But now back to my story. I had a student reach out to me and ask me if I could help him out with his first honey harvest. How amazing is that? It was such an amazing moment. I was excited for him being his first honey harvest, but I was also excited a little bit for myself because I was gifted a 20 frame honey extractor. Now that is a manual hand extractor. So shout out to Robert. He is a fellow beekeeper here in South Africa. And he is an amazing beekeeper, and it was his colony on the previous episode that needed a queen urgently, and I gave him one of my breeder queens. So if you want to check out where we requeened his hive, just go to the episode before this one and you will see that I'm busy there with Robert. And after we finished doing that, he just gave me a 20 frame honey extractor, which was absolutely amazing. And I really wanted to see how this extractor will extract the honey as my harvest is not in yet. So since my harvest hasn't come out yet, I wasn't able to test it. And I thought this was such a great way to test the extractor with the student's honey. So I packed up my honey extractor and I drove all the way to his apiary to go and help him extract some fresh honey. This was such an amazing experience. I got to see how the extractor works, but most importantly, I got to spend a day with a fellow beekeeper and his wonderful colony of bees. I think that's the moment that really gets me. It's not my own apiary and what I do, but just having a look at other beekeepers and what they do and how they do it. I absolutely love just observing and learning from other beekeepers around me. And it was such a lovely morning. We harvested his first honey frames. Not all the frames were fully capped over. So don't jump into my comment section and be like, why are you guys harvesting the honey? It's not fully capped over. We know, but he was just so excited. And since he was extracting the honey only for himself and his family, I didn't see an issue with it. He wasn't going to sell it to anybody else. And he was so excited. So why not extract it? And I mean, since the honey flow is only starting here in South Africa, it's a great way for him to taste his bees' honey. And he still has enough time to put that exact same super bag and let the ladies fill up those cells a lot quicker, because they are extracted now. So the ladies can jump right away and just backfill them again. And he can have another take later on before the end of the year. Guys, I have to say his honey was so delicious. It tasted like warm caramel. It had such an amazing taste. The best part was that I had the opportunity of being part of his very first harvest from his first ever beehive. It is such a special moment. Just thinking back of it right now, it was just such an amazing moment to spend with a fellow beekeeper and just being able to absorb that moment that he gets to taste it and realizes that his hard work is actually paying off. Because believe it or not, as beekeepers, we do really work very hard for our bees. So recently, I also got invited to a honey seminar at the Bee Hut. And I think it was this weekend. It was absolutely amazing to meet the owner of the beehive. And I also got to meet some interesting beekeepers and got to refresh my memory on getting the best honey crop possible. Being part of a community is something I was not interested in at all. But I feel that I have changed recently, as it is easier to learn from others' mistakes rather than my own. I decided to join a local beekeepers club and really dive into the beekeeping community experience. Sometimes in life, we believe we can do things alone. I believe I could do this beekeeping journey by myself. But I had to come to the realization that we are all human and we need others around us to help us and grow. We don't grow in solitude. We grow being surrounded by others. But I think the golden nugget in this surrounding yourself with other people is making sure that you surround yourself with like-minded people that are in the same trajectory as you are. They're moving in the same direction. They have the same mindset. They have the same aspirations and goals. And it really got me excited because I loved listening to all of the talks, and I got to meet some fellow beekeepers throughout the day, and it was such a thrill to listen to others. There were some that was only getting started now. Others have been in the industry for a very long time. And all the questions and all the concerns and all the inputs that everybody was giving was absolutely fascinating, and I really, really enjoyed it. So this was really an amazing talk, and I would definitely be showing up for some more. Now the queens have emerged, and it is time to get the ladies into their mating nukes. This is the hardest part of queen rearing, I would say, is getting all of your queens mated. I would say it's the most stressful part of queen rearing, is getting all of the queens into the mating nukes, because you don't want a place that's too hot or too cold. They need to have the right temperature. There needs to be enough bees inside there. So it's a little bit complicated, but I would say for me personally, it is the most stressful part. And I have to say that I don't like the current system that I'm using for my mating. I really, really don't like, the mating process that I'm using right now. I really feel that I need to rethink this whole process. I really need to change it and adapt it. And I've come up with a plan, and I will not be sharing that exact plan in this video, but I will definitely be sharing it in the next video. So I am going to include all of the stuff that I'm working on and all the ideas that I've come up with. And I believe that I have really ironed out a really good system, and we'll see how well it works in the next video. And I also believe that, it's time for me to expand my queen rearing setup. I've been using the same setup now for a while, and I really want to grow my operation. I think I'm at that point in my beekeeping journey that I really want to expand on the strengths that I have gained. And at the moment, I can only create about 10 to 15 queens at a time. And I want to scale it to doing at least 40 to 50 queens at a time. So I guess I've set my goal for the next 2 months. And I have to say, guys, I am so excited to take you guys along with this exciting journey. I think it's a lot of learnings, a lot of mistakes, but I think at the end of it, it's going to be really, really awesome. Now, on a bit more of a disaster note, a negative note, guys. While I was at the apiary busy doing my queens, disaster hit my very first hive this week. I saw that they made some queen cells, and since I could not see the queen or any eggs, I assumed that they just made, they made some emergency eggs. There was no eggs inside, and there was no queen. I did see some emergency cells, and I just assumed that, something had happened to my queen. Maybe she died or something happened and they were not happy with her. So I just left the queen cells in there and decided, okay, well, they are now getting ready to make a new queen. It is 2.5 years now that she's been in the hive. So I think it is a good time for them to make a new queen. And I just closed up the hive, and I was like, no, let me just close up everything and I'll get back to them in 2 weeks. And obviously this week was week 2 when I got there. And I would just, open up, have a look at the new queen and then mark her up. But to my surprise, guys, this hive failed. When I opened up my hive, there was no queen, no eggs, no larvae. I am devastated, guys. And yes, I did shed a tear because she has been with me for over 2.5 years. And no, I have to accept that she's gone. It's not the fact that she's gone that made me sad. It's the fact that they failed to make a daughter that could take over her mother's work. That is the part that saddened me, because it meant that the queen was dead and there was nobody to supersede her in her genetic line. So with a heavy heart, I had to place one of my breeder queens inside of that hive, my first hive, to take up the task. But that means the genetics of the old queen is dead. her reign and legacy is now gone. She was my first hive, my first queen. And she gave me the title of beekeeper. And just like that, she is gone. My kids named her Queen Juliet. And Juliet will always hold a special place in my heart. Her legacy helped so many other colonies survive and thrive by supplying them resources. When a hive needed brood, she was happy to hand over some of her brood to the other colonies. When other colonies couldn't make comb or draw it out, her colony did it. And it was such a sad moment for me because I never wanted to re-queen that hive. I never wanted to have a new set of genes in there. I just wanted to keep her as is because she was my very first hive. But now they failed. I don't know what happened, but I just had to save them. I couldn't just let the hive die out. I had to put in a new queen. But that means that there's a new set of genes going into that hive, and it means it's a new legacy. So that hive is starting off with a new legacy, and I'm excited for them, but I'm also saddened inside because it's just a reminder that sometimes we have to say goodbye to things that we really treasure. I had to say goodbye to her and her genes and her genetic line and her reign, and I had to open up to a new legacy. And yes, it just made me think a lot about my own life and some of the things that I have to give up and new things that I have to get started. So that was my disaster, guys. It was a very sad moment. I'm sure you guys can hear my voice. I'm still a bit saddened by it, but her colony needs to carry on. And I do believe the new queen that has been put in there will take up the task gladly. And she will build upon what Juliet originally built. And that's why I say beekeeping is so much more at home. It's not just colony. They are a part of what you are building, and they're a part of the things that you get to do. So that was my disaster. But the colony is safe, and the colony is doing well, and they're thriving. So that's really, really great. I'm very happy for that. And they are going to survive, so nobody worry that they are not going to make it. They have been re-queened with one of my breeding queens. And now let's hope that she's going to supply just as much resources to all the other hives and help other hives to thrive, just as the original legacy of the hive when it started. So guys, thank you so much for joining me on this video. If you enjoyed this video, guys, please give me a thumbs up. It really does help small channels like myself reach bigger audiences. And it's I think a lot of the times you watch a lot of videos and they say, oh, please give me a thumbs up, but it really does. Being in this YouTube thing now for a while, I realized it really does. So if you did find value from this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if I'm one of the beekeepers that you want to follow along and see what other crazy things I get up to in my apiary, then please give me a subscribe, guys, and hit that notification bell so you are first to know when I am releasing a new video. And if you found this valuable, share it with other beekeepers. Invite other guys. Again, guys, please check out the link for the free beekeeping course. It will only be free until the end of October. I am busy with a queen rearing course because for the past 2 years, I have been perfecting my queen rearing skills, and I've really built a very unique queen rearing system. I am busy with a course on that, so I will be releasing that in the next couple of months. I'm super, super stoked about that. And if they check out our website for some of our product there, we've got some honey there, we've got some meat there, we've got some peanut brittle. So support local guys, support your local beekeepers. It's very important. You may not know how important it is to support your local beekeeper, because believe it or not, 75% of all the fruits and vegetables that you consume on a monthly basis is pollinated by bees, and without bees we cannot enjoy all the lovely things that we love to eat. So by supporting your beekeeper, you are supporting a huge ecosystem. So guys, thank you so much for joining me in this video. I will catch you guys in the next one. And as we always say at Stone Honey Farms, may you have an awesome, bee-rific day. Bye, guys.